Hello, hello. Today's episode is going to be super interesting for you and for me, especially because I spoke to this person, Dr. Aishwarya, who's the founder and chief medical officer of Aishwarya's Nature Care Center. And why this is super important for all of us is because this is around the topic called naturopathy. We've all heard about Ayurveda, allopathy, Unani, and things like that. And this entire conversation is, you will basically understand what naturopathy means. It's not complicated. It's not basically like a hoax or something. It is scientifically, she has talked about scientific methods of things that really work for you, in changing by changing smallest things in your lifestyle that is in harmony with nature. And if you say about nature, it's not like super complicated and things like that, like the water you drink, the sunlight that you get exposed to, which we are not probably going out too much, and a lot of vitamin D3 deficiencies and things like that that come out which we are not aware of. So there's so many things that I was able to learn from this conversation, be it how can you lead a lifestyle with by following five simple steps, what is holistic well-being. And she said something very interesting, that a doctor is not just someone who's going to like only give you prescribe you medicines, but rather educate how you can lead your life in a way that you are healthy. So this episode is definitely going to be helpful if you are in the path, or if you are looking forward to like make some changes, healthy changes to your lifestyle. And if you're someone who is struggling with a lot of health issues, and you've been taking a lot of pills and things like that, I would highly recommend you to watch this video. And I'll be sharing her website and details in the description of this video, and you'll be able to contact her. So let's dive right in. Hello, doctor. Welcome to podcast with Varu.
Hi, Dr. Iswarya. I'm a naturopathy physician. Run a chain of naturopathy centers in Chennai.
We were supposed to connect few days ago. Unfortunately, it did not happen. It felt so weird for me to tell doctor that as I'm suffering from fever over WhatsApp. So there are three reasons why I basically did not want to miss connecting with you. Number one, it was very, very nice of Mr. Subramaniam to reach out to me on LinkedIn and say that Dr. Aishwarya, she is my partner, my better half, and she's doing something amazing in naturopathy. You should definitely talk to her. That's one thing. The other thing is basically the naturopathy, the field itself, right? Like, is very fascinating for someone. We are living in urban place where we are exposed to a lot of medicines, ultra processed food, a lot of other things that are artificial. So it's very, very important for us to live with nature, one of the things. And the third thing, for the last 2 years, me and my family, we've been going through a lot health wise. And it's
Oh,
very puzzling because whenever you go to doctor, the doctor basically like says, hey, this is wrong. At one point, there was one thing wrong. After a point of time, when it got over, there was another thing wrong. After a point of time, there was another thing wrong. But later, when we started understanding what this is all about, everything was connected to just one problem. There's like the holistic well being seems to be a big missing puzzle across for many people, at least that I know. So, all these three things made me I definitely want to connect with you, doctor. And of course, the website that you have actually like built and certain things that you've mentioned made me realize that after this conversation, I should definitely become consult with you as well, like me and my family. So all
of
this
course.
together made me connect with you today.
Okay. I'm very glad that we connected today.
Same here, doctor. So let's dive right in. I know you are always like busy and I don't want to take so much of your time. So the very obvious one, doctor, this is the obvious most question because we've all heard about this thing called homeopathy, allopathy, Unani, Ayurveda, and now naturopathy and things like that. People are not very clear about all of these terms. There's like a little ambiguity around all of it. So if you have to simply tell them that what naturopathy means. How is this approach different from the others? It will be super, super helpful for us to set the context when we like move
Okay.
on.
Basically, naturopathy means இயற்கை மருத்துவம் in Tamil. So, living in alignment with nature is the core principle of naturopathy. And it is a drugless system of medicine where we don't believe giving external medicines to cure your own body. And we also believe in treating the body with food itself. Food is your medicine. So that will be the core concept.
Okay.
The other ones are like we have actually 6 principles of naturopathy. The first one being first do no harm. So either you help the patient or do nothing. This will be the core principle because the side effects of the medicines, the treatment procedures, and everything. Even if we go for a cesarean delivery, which may be needed in case of emergencies also. But the after effects of the cesarean delivery, nobody can avoid it. So
True.
those are the kind of side effects that we need to avoid. So that will be one thing. And the second main concept of naturopathy is to treat the person as a whole. Like you said, first one thing goes wrong, and the next thing, and the next thing. So ultimately, everything will be interconnected. So when a patient comes to us, what we do is we treat the patient as a whole. We diagnose the patient, we find the interlink between everything, and then we treat it so that the patient gets better in all aspects. And not just physical, the mental well being and the spiritual well being also is very much important in naturopathy. And adding to that, we treat the root cause. When you find the interlink, we actually land upon a problem which will be much different than the symptoms that they are exhibiting. So the root cause will be some other problem. Without addressing that, if you give symptomatic relief, if you treat just the pain, or you call the patients that you will have to change the way of living, and we have to go back to living in with nature. All the natural therapies, all the natural practices that were in the routine of our ancestors, like my great grandmother or their forefathers, all they had very simple lifestyle. Now, due to the technology and all other advancements, we have come a long way away from the nature. So that point we insist. And the last one is we are being taught that a naturopathy physician has to be first a teacher to the patient. So we start
Okay.
educating the patient, and then we treat the patient. So all these principles are the core concepts of naturopathy. So if we start following this awareness being spread among the common public, and if we start following this, I can see a very beautiful community or a generation full of healthy individuals. So that will be our main motto.
No, I completely agree on all 3 points that you said, that what naturopathy emphasizes or believes as a core, concept itself, right? Like when you mentioned the other thing, when it's not just your physical health, but also your mental and spiritual well-being, which is largely omitted by most of the people. Like we do not know, like the basic thing. I was unwell, and every time I get sick, first thing that affects is my energy, and my automatically when my energy goes down, I'm like I feel sad. I'm like, I feel dejected. I don't want to do anything. I get into that low mood sort of a thing automatically, because my health is not supporting what I want to do. My brain is like, it wants to do something. My body is not ready to do because it doesn't have energy to do. And balancing that is like the most important thing. So thanks for putting that out, doctor. And one, to clarify and to confirm that with you so that people do not misunderstand or complicate it so much. Like you said, it's about sticking to basics, like how our ancestors lived. That's the whole concept of living in sync with nature, and it doesn't have to be super complicated at all. Am I right?
Yes. So the more
Perfect.
we
Perfect.
get in touch with nature, the more healthier we become. We become happy. We become, I mean, that is the
Yeah.
true nature of the human being. So it will be very nice, and it will be very simple, and it will be very beautiful to be in such environments. For example, our forefathers, they used to do only the farming, the agriculture work. You should look at them, how happy they'll be. I mean, they would not have any diseases. They walk barefoot. Today, with so much advanced footwear and all, still we are experiencing the foot pain, your knee pain, your sleeplessness. All these
Yeah.
things are there. But the moment they go lie down, they sleep very peacefully. All this is because they live very close with the nature.
Makes a lot of sense. I noted something down when you talked about this, which is you mentioned good food, right?
Yeah.
People have a lot of misconception about good food. For the last 15, my mom has been affected. I mean, like not affected, but she has diabetes, right? And I think diabetes has become any other common household name wherever you go, especially in India. Um,
Yeah.
and not just me, my partner mom also has diabetes. There is nothing proud to be wearing this badge that, my parents have diabetes, but they don't understand a lot of things. They have this concept of good food as wrong food, and it is often associated with carbs. And like when you mentioned about our ancestors who were farmers and who used to do a lot of physically involving work, they cannot live. I mean, it's for them, it's super essential. Carbs is like the super essential energy giving food. Now when we are living the lifestyle that we live, predominantly I sit and work. There's very less
Work.
movement when
Yeah.
it comes to work. So what do you mean by good food and how do you define it, doc?
Okay. So, as you said, our ancestors might have needed a lot of carbs, but the carbohydrate that they are taking will be different. Not just white rice. They used unpolished rice, unrefined rice. They used a lot of millets in their food. So, that is the kind of carb that you need. And uh,
Makes sense.
along with that, they had a lot of seasonal fruits and vegetables. I mean, they have their own farm. They produce and then they eat the same food. So what happens is when you take the concept of seasonal food is because it will be according to the weather changes, the climatic changes, and your the body type living in that climate. So that is the food that we have to start taking. We take all imported fruits, imported vegetables, and all. So that is all not required at this point of time. We'll have to get back. So we have to take seasonal fruits and seasonal vegetables and include a lot of locally produced food. That is actually because rice. I mean, for example, if you take it in India, the southern part of India, we have a lot of states that take rice as their staple food. It's because of the climatic
Yeah.
conditions. It is because of the temperament of the humans living here. So, why you take for North India? Their staple food is wheat. So they take it in the form of
Yeah.
chapati, they take it in the form of rotis and everything. So this is in according to the body types and the seasonal changes and all. So you cannot take chapati daily. It will not suit your body. So we have
True.
to take rice. But the thing is, we will have to switch over to the unpolished and unrefined forms of rice so that the fiber is still there and you can get the true benefit of eating the rice.
Makes sense. So basically, like when we take, like you said, the rice, any component of rice, it has to have a lot of fiber in it as well and not just carbs.
Exactly.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks for clarifying that, doctor. Many have wrong ideas about it. So just wanted to clarify. So, I mean, this is very interesting and I can keep asking you questions, but I want to stick to, the time. What made you actually pursue naturopathy? Because you mentioned something very interesting even when we spoke over the call, and just now you mentioned about educating the patient. I think which is most crucial part, not just for the doctor but also for the patient, because I recently had this encounter with a doctor where I had to like ask so many questions, because as a person I might have studied science or whatever it is. It is not necessary that I will get every terminology that they say. But there I've also met doctors where they've explained it to me like I am like a 5-year-old kid, very simply in very shortest period of time, that this is how it works. This is what you're supposed to do. Like once I got subscribed, what I got subscribed in my prescription: take sunlight. This was there in the prescription. A
Mhm.
doctor gave a prescription with no
Okay.
medicines. He basically an ortho doctor. My entire family goes there. We all had this because of the COVID. We never went out. We all had this vitamin D3 deficiency. I think many in India right now have. And I was not able to walk and things like that. The doctor said enough sunlight is the medicine. Of course, you need to take the vitamin D3 supplement, but there's a lot you can do with food try calcium rich food, and please go and walk in the sun or do something like 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. You will be fine after 30 days. And it actually happened to me. I'm like, I can jump, I can do anything right now. So education is very important, right? So what made you pursue naturopathy? And after you pursuing this, what made you think that, it's core responsibility of you to like educate your patients?
No. I landed in naturopathy by chance. I wanted to do medicine, but
Okay.
due to the counseling and all, I did not get the seat. And then by chance only, I mean, we turned into alternate medicine, the Indian system of medicine. And then there we had naturopathy. During that time also, I did not want to go to Siddha Ayurveda and all. Somehow I landed upon naturopathy, but after I actually joined naturopathy and started reading about the therapies and all, I felt it was destiny that brought me here. So it is actually, I mean, it aligns so well with your moral values and what you want to do in life and all. And after studying naturopathy, what I felt is patients all, I mean, people all over the world, they want to be healthy. Everybody wants to be healthy. But the thing is, they don't
True.
know how. I mean, hospitals, it has to be for the diseased persons alone, not for the people who want to be healthy. So, as a doctor, it is my true responsibility to educate the patient. They have every right to know what is happening in their with their body and what treatment I'm going to prescribe and what that treatment is going to do with in their body and what results that they can expect. So they have every right to know all these things. So it is my duty to explain, to put it in simple forms, as you said, to put it in very simple forms so that they can understand. So now I can understand whatever medical terms that I have learned. But it is not the same case with the patient. It should be explained in very simple terms what is happening. And if this treatment is not taken at this moment, what is going to happen in the next stage also, they need to know so that they can make an informed decision. So this is the main
True.
thing. And one more thing, because of naturopathy, what if we educate the patient? It might be a very simple thing that they have come. It might be a very simple headache. So if we educate the patient, if we tell them what is wrong with your body and you can do this and your pain will not come again, the patient will be very happy to go home, follow the same things and not be with a headache. So his trips to the hospital, his money, his time, everything will be saved with that simple education. So that will be the, I mean, as much as I am doing this business, I'm running this hospital, but a part of me always wants people to get healthy and please don't come to see me again because you should be healthy on your own. That is the main concept.
I think it is very well reflecting on the website of yours as well, doctor, where I saw your body has a self healing mechanism, and basically you as a doctor and as like the entire hospital, your core is to basically like activate that sensories which will actually help the body to self heal. So I really liked that messaging as well. When you were saying, I had this question because when you go to any doctor, I think every doctor has a different way of seeing a patient. Like for instance, one doctor can be like, they will need all the reports and they have to check every single thing. They need to know the patient history to basically like say anything forward, and also like check the patient at the real time and then do. There are certain doctor, first what they do is they check the patient real time and they get a pulse of what's actually like happened. I think it's basically based on experience and things like that. And the course of treatment happens. So when it comes to what you do, what is like, let's say I want to be healthy. I'm not looking for
Okay.
something like a immediate fix. I want to like a sustainable solution that, like you said, I don't want to go back to hospital. I want to stay healthy. Now, as a person, if I come down to you, what will be the course of treatment? Like, where does it start? How do you start? And how does it end?
Okay. So first of all, naturopathy is all about prevention is better than cure. So even before you
Okay.
have any condition, even before you have any disease, we are there to help you. As I said, to be healthy, to rejuvenate your body, and because of the lifestyle conditions that we are in today, and the food that we take, because there's no food without pesticides or insecticides as of now. So with all these conditions, it is better to detox every now and then. So we are always there to help
Okay.
you. So our treatment protocol, if you come with a disease or without a disease, our first protocol will be to cleanse you thoroughly. So we give
Okay.
enema, we give Shankar Prakshalana, which will cleanse your body, and it will get away all the toxins from your body. Only then the treatment what we give will be acceptable to your body. With all the toxins
Makes
built up
sense.
inside, whatever treatment that I give or whatever diet that I prescribe is not going to make any difference until you are thoroughly cleansed. So that will be the first step. The second thing is, what we do is we have a natural approach to the diagnosis part also. So we diagnose the
Okay.
patient, we treat them as a whole, and then treatments are also along with they actually resemble all the Panchamahabhutas of the universe. I mean, so the fire, the water, the earth. So all these elements we use and then we give treatment. So there'll be absolutely no side effects, and your body will thank you for giving such a beautiful experience.
Got it. So I was about to ask you about that because when I again was doing a research about in in a website, I did see those therapies and it reminded me of the five elements of the nature, right?
Yeah.
So what I wanted to basically ask is this: you mentioned diagnose. Like, how would you diagnose? Like, once the toxins are flushed, do you basically see the patient's history so far, anything, the prescription, the medicines that we've been eating, or you ask us what is the kind of food we eat, is it affecting, any food is affecting us, so will it be like a questionnaire sort of a thing? How does it work?
Okay, so the first thing what we do is when the patient comes in, we ask them what is the current issue that is bothering them. So that will be taken care of, and all the comorbidities like hypertension, diabetes, hypothyroidism, all these conditions we'll make a note of it, and then we will dig deeper into their routine, your daily routine. So from
Oh,
morning till bedtime,
okay.
and what time you go back to bed, what time you sleep, how is the sleep quality, and what food do you take, and all these things we will get, so that we get a bigger picture of what is going on with them. So where does it go wrong? We'll be able to find it. And after this, we do natural diagnosis. We have naturopathy diagnosis as we do pulse diagnosis. We check their pulses, and from
Oh,
that we know what is which energy is down and what can be done to replenish the energy. And mostly, the energy differences in the body is the cause of all diseases. So maybe somewhere the energy is low, maybe somewhere the energy is too much, and somewhere the energy is blocked. All these conditions we'll come to know with the help of pulse diagnosis. And the second one, we do iris diagnosis. The black part in your eye is called the iris. So that has all the organs, all the structures in your body depicted in a miniature. So different zones and different areas have been classified. So we have a specialized equipment for to scan the iris, and we'll be able to tell you what is wrong with your body and what part of your body is affected even without you telling us. So that is one part. And
wow.
then we use tongue diagnosis. Your tongue is basically we used to see there is some kind of white or yellow deposition, some spots. So all these things a
Yeah.
common man doesn't pay much attention to it. But as a naturopathy doctor, we see everything and we divided it into zones. Each color coating is a different symptom. So we diagnose from that. And the last one is we do facial diagnosis. Like when a patient walks into your consultation room, we see their appearance. Each part of the body, the way they walk, the if they have any swelling, all these things we'll take into consideration, and that is how we holistically diagnose the patient too. So we don't send them unnecessarily. I mean, all the patients that come to us, they already have a file full of reports. So they would have visited a minimum of 4 to 5 clinics or hospitals, and they have all the reports that is needed. So we don't want to put them under the same diagnostic methods again and again. So this will be a diagnosis part, and it is very amazing to I want to tell that it is very amazing that all the naturopathy diagnosis, they give you accurate information of what is there in the report, the modern diagnostic methods. So it is very nice, and it will be very helpful for us also to learn to tell the patient also. They seem very happy. How did you even tell me that I have this, and I did not even tell you that? So that is actually pretty good.
Yeah, truly. I think many unhealthy people will not even want to show their face in front of naturopathy doctors, I guess, because they're definitely going to diagnose looking at their face. Definitely super interesting things that you mentioned, because my mom often used to tell this to me that, I used to like make fun of her, but looks like this is true. Like she says that in that, when you talked about the pulse, pittam, vadam, all these things are something that is, they are very crucial in your body. When any of this thing is high or low or something, that is where all the problem basically like starts. That's something my grandma used to tell my mom, and my mom used to tell me. So basically, like when you mentioned that, and what blew my mind is like, can iris give us so much information? So that is completely
The
new
patient
too.
will not
And of
tell
course,
you.
the tongue. Yeah,
The
yeah, please
patient
go
will
ahead,
not tell you.
doctor.
I mean, if we ask, "Are you sleeping properly?" They used to say, "Yeah, no, I'm sleeping good." When you look into their iris, it will be like an extra put in front of you that they are not sleeping properly. And then when you dig in deeper, they say, "Yes, yes, yes, my I sleep very late." So all these things will be able to tell them accurately.
So looks like we can lie to the allopathy doctors, but we can't lie to naturopathy doctors. No, I personally want to ask this, doctor, because I work in the night shift. I think there are so many people who work in the night shift. Like 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. is where I work, and
Okay.
I know that I'm completely against my circadian rhythm. Like circadian rhythm, and my
Yes.
body will like ask, like, who are you? Are you even existing? It's almost a year, and I
Okay.
can see a lot of. I mean, like I am trying my best to basically hit gym. I do swimming, and the most important thing that you're saying, right? Like more fruits, more vegetables. I've started taking millets, more fiber into my system apart from the protein and things like that. But I think no matter what, I am not living a very natural life. Your body is supposed to rest in the night and awake in the day, be active. But unfortunately, I or many people cannot do that because of their nature of job. For them, if they have to like stay in sync with nature, of course, like I will definitely like come to you, because I really like the diagnosis and things like that you mentioned, because I want to like get healthy throughout. Like if I have to give them some tips, or cannot say fixes, but tips or advice, so that
No.
they can actually be little healthy even in this routine, what do you think they will be?
Okay. So what happens in, I mean, for a regular person, for a day shift person, if you take,
Yeah.
what happens is they work throughout the day, and then when we all go to sleep, our liver gets up and it starts to work. So the liver works only when you are asleep, when you are at rest. So what happens is that it purifies the blood, it prepares your body for the next day. All these things happen in the night. So that's why we make sure that you have to go to bed by 10 and be asleep maximum by 10:30. So any time beyond that, it is going to disturb with the cleansing process. So when you are in the night shift, if you are awake during that time, I would suggest a few tips that you can follow so that your liver also keeps functioning properly. The one thing is, do not eat
Okay.
anything beyond 11 o'clock. I would advise
Okay.
beyond 8 o'clock, you do not eat anything. But max to max, even some tea or coffee, please do not take anything during your night shifts. Only water will do. Or if at all you are hungry, have some fruits and nothing else. So this is one thing. The second thing is periodically take a liver detox. A cleansing procedure
Okay.
or a detox section you will have to take periodically to keep flushing the toxins that is being built up. because that is the work of the liver, which will be done while we are asleep. So, since we are awake during that time too, so it is better periodically you do a liver detox. It is applicable for even the day shift. I mean, people who work in the day also. Generally, everybody has to take a liver detox or a whole body cleansing procedure once in a while, so that we are able to stay hale and healthy. Because our diseases, they basically start from your stomach and your intestines. All the issues, be it diabetes, be it hypertension, everything starts. The root cause is in your stomach only. The food what we eat and how it is being absorbed plays a very important role in disease management.
Got it. Liver cleansing is most important, is what you're trying to, is what you're saying. Got it.
Yeah.
For me, I personally think I have to do full body cleansing, because it's not just the liver. I've damaged brain, heart, whatnot. Every single cell in my body is to basically, get cleansing. So yeah. And so, and I was like telling that I'm going to talk to you. Kind of put it out in Instagram, because before my conversation with the guests, I usually like ask a couple of my friends, and do you have any questions to ask the guests? I'm going to talk to them. So like two of my friends, both of them, one is actually in in her early 30s. The other one is like in her late 30s. So
Okay.
so one, she asked some very interesting. She's a mom.
Hmm.
So she asked, like, I'm under 40, and whether it's a male or a female, what advice do you basically like give for those people, male, female, under 40, to be not affected by early heart attacks?
Okay. Heart attacks are a result of actually a poor lifestyle. We say, I mean, we see people working out in gym, people having healthy diet pattern to follow. Even they suffer from heart attacks. See, heart attack is not only because of food and exercise part. It is because of the journey that you are having. Even if you are stressed out, and even if you eat the cleanest foods, even if you have the nicest diet pattern, it will affect you. So what basically,
Okay.
for this, as I already told, a periodical cleansing procedure will help. And then fasting. I mean, we do have five simple principles to fall for a healthy life. So I'll tell you all those five. So the first
Yeah.
thing is water drinking. So you'll have to drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day. That is a mandate, and you will have to sip and drink. Drink periodically, not just gulp 1 liter of water at a time and then being thirsty throughout the day. So you'll have to drink minimum 2 to 3 liters of water. You will have to eat only 2 meals a day, one at sunrise and one at sunset. So this will be the ideal pattern of eating. And when I say eating, I want to stress the fact that we'll have to chew your food well and then eat. That is a very important factor because your digestion starts in the mouth itself. So we'll have to chew it very well and then we'll have to swallow. This is one of the important mistake that we do today. We watch something on our phone, we talk, and we actually literally finish eating in like 10 minutes. That should not be the case. The minimum time to finish a meal should be at least 20 minutes. You'll have to sit and see the colors, feel the texture. You'll have to enjoy your food, and that is the only way to eat properly. So the third thing is we'll have to exercise 1 hour every day. The exercise can be anything. As you said, it can be swimming, it can be gym, it can be yoga, it can be walking, it can be any sport, but at least 1 hour every day we'll have to work out. So the next thing is we'll have to pray or meditate. Why pray or meditate? Don't make this a religious thing. Is not. I mean, that is not my idea at all. So what happens when you pray or meditate is you will have a one pointedness, the focus, the concentration that will let you work properly throughout the day, and you can manage your time efficiently. Okay. So the last one will be fasting once a week. So why fasting? We use our phones, we use our laptops, we use every machine in our house and offices, everything. We shut it down at some point of time and it has to rest. The same goes with our body also. We need that rest and we need that service time. So what happens during fasting is your your the whole digestive system goes on a rest, and the entire energy will be used to cleanse your body. It will cleanse automatically. So during fasting, we used to give enema, we used to give mud bags, we used to give very not if the patient is not under complete fasting, we used to give only vegetables, fruits. So all these things, when the patient finishes the fasting, the entire week will be on a different energy than it was before. So these are all very proven facts, and people have experienced all the goodness, and they have also given the feedback that this type of living, it is what is needed for this generation.
No, I completely agree. And I think when you mentioned all these five steps, doctor, I wanted to ask you because most of the cases, lifestyle is the reason for any disease, but specifically heart disease as well, like you mentioned. And stress plays a vital role. And people often misconceive stress. Like, what am I stressing about? Like, if I tell my mom also, like, I'm not stressing at all. But I think, like you said, you are straining your entire body. Like when you see a system, you see any screen for a long time, you're straining your eyes. You think too much, you don't sleep at night, sleep for 8 hours. You're straining your entire body. And when you eat so much again, you're straining. So there's like so much stress points that you constantly push your body and mind to, that unknowingly you are becoming a prime candidate for any sort of these diseases, especially like heart attack. If you have hypertension, it's going to be like cheese on, like the icing on the cake. So if we follow the five steps, we will be like out of stress. And I think other than that, the work stress and things like that, I think
Exactly.
when our mind is calm, everything works.
See, stress is not always bad. Stress, we have good stress also. The kind of
Yeah.
stress that helps you perform better. It
Yeah.
will increase your productivity and all. But there are stress that if it pursues, I mean, if it is goes on for a very long time, like the one, if you wake up late, you get ready in a very hustling manner,
Hurriedly, yeah.
and then when you go out in the traffic, you have to reach office, there you have work stress and all. So all these things, if it is for one day, you will recover. But when it goes on for a very long time, what happens is that your body will not cope up with it. So automatically, some or the other condition starts developing. And we very firmly believe that germs or microbes is not the one that causes you disease. If you have a viral infection, if you have a bacterial infection, that is not because of the virus, that is solely because of your body condition. Because where does a germ thrive? It thrives in an unhealthy environment. It multiplies in an unhealthy environment. So the moment we get fever or cold or any kind of infections, for example, diarrhea or any infection, the first thing that we have to do is look into ourselves. What kind of an environment am I having inside for the germs to thrive? If it is a healthy environment, none of it would happen. So that should be the way that we have to look at the disease and ourselves.
No, you rightly put it, and absolutely right, doctor. Like how you start your day, and if you're continuously doing that to your body, your mind, you're doing it to everything. Like it
Yeah.
automatically, internal and external environment, you are actually making stressful. So totally agree with you. There's another question my friend asked. I think it is age related, right? Like let's say I'm in my 30s, right? So I know that if there is something, I have actually damaged enough in 10 years, probably in the last 5 years, because my lifestyle changed, like in terms of financially, I became better. I think after we all become financially better, our lifestyle becomes worse, to be honest, because until then we walk a lot, until then we make sure we need to work hard and things like that. But once we are sort of settled financially, you get into comfort zone, you eat anything and things like that. But see, for me, even though that is the case, yeah, I can still like make changes because my body will be ready. I've not done too much extensive damage. But there are people who are in their 60s, and when they are diagnosed with, they're living with diabetes for 10, 15 years, means that has started even 20 years before or something like that. So
True.
for
True.
those people, they want to reverse the condition. Can naturopathy be of any help?
Yeah, of course. See, diabetes, we'll have to take into consideration four things. So the first one will be your food. The second one will be your exercise part. The third thing is sleep, and the fourth thing is stress. All these factors, if we hit it correctly, if we change your lifestyle, if we sort out all these four for you, your diabetes can be very well reversed. Not just diabetes, any disease can be reversed. Even hormonal issues and all, we'll be able to help you very beautifully that no other system can help. You need not take a single hormonal pill. You follow what we say, and you will be there in 3 months.
Okay. I'm
We
coming
will be
definitely to you.
able to make your body secrete your hormones naturally again.
Got it. I think that's one. I mean, I don't know if the number is correct, but at least in my circle, including me, a lot of us have PCOD problem. And
Yeah.
just like diabetes, people casually say I have PCOD, but they don't understand the repercussions of PCOD because it bothers your entire body. Like uterus is the most important part, critical part for a woman. Like what people say gut is connected to your brain and things like that. I think uterus is also directly linked to your brain because when you don't have periods on time, your mood gets like it goes for a toss, your entire body shuts down. When you also continuously menstruate, that is also the time where your entire body is in shock. So both sides of it is like super difficult and people don't really realize it, and this affects their energy, their productivity levels and whatnot. And like you said, it contributes to the stress and things like that. When we don't listen to this part of our life, hormonal imbalance, I think it will also lead to a lot of diseases. Am I right or wrong, doc?
Yes, absolutely. See, PCOD is not just not getting periods. And there are other issues that is going on inside. You will have insulin resistance, you will have your metabolism affected. So all these things have to be taken into account and not just the period regularity. So when we look at the bigger picture, when we go to the root cause, the issue will be very simple, but at the same time, after effects, one combining with the other, if your insulin resistance and your polycystic ovaries, everything gets combined, you will have diabetes in the next 5 years or 10 years. So, all these things have to be taken into account so that we don't face the other health challenges in the coming years. So,
Makes
that
a
is
lot
how
of
we'll
sense,
have to
doctor.
look.
It scares me the most, and makes me want to like you've seen this film, right, where Vivek is a medical rep or something, and there's this actor called Balaji, and he's like, don't speak on this side of the ear, I can't hear, I have this problem. The moment you say, like, it feels like I have all the problems in my body and I definitely need to, like, I think the first thing that I need to do is cleanse, like you said.
True. So, the
I'm definitely
only
coming to
medicine
you.
that
I'm
we have
definitely.
the only medicine that we have to have now is to cleanse our body first. That will take away almost 50 to 70 percentage of your diseases from the body.
Yeah, definitely, doctor. Doctor, I had the other thing when you talked about this Panchabhudam concept, amalgamated in naturopathy, right? So, can you tell me the therapies that you basically like provide in naturopathy?
So when you see Panchabhuta, we have fire, earth, water, vacuum, and space. So what happens is we treat with water. So for water, we have many baths like hip bath, we have spinal spray. The whole concept is to treat the body using water at different temperatures. When you give it at hot temperature, it will have some effects, and when you have it in a colder temperature, it will have another effect. So, and then we give fermentation, we give compresses, all these things we used to give. And for earth, we give mud therapy. So,
Okay.
when it comes to mud therapy, we dig it from under the surface, and then we treat it, we purify it, and then we use it. We use it as mud pack or mud application externally. It can be to a particular part or it can be to the whole body also. And then we have fire.
Okay.
For fire, we give sunlight therapy. As you said, it is very much essential for the normal functioning, even for your mood enhancement, sunlight is very much essential. So we give direct sun bath, we give a plant and leaf therapy. Like you roll the patient in plantain leaves, and then you let them sit, I mean, let them lie down in sunlight. So this has very beautiful properties of healing your skin conditions, for detox, for weight loss, for name it, you will have effect from it. So the next treatment is with colors. I mean, we have chromotherapy it is called. So when we use different colors, each color has a different property. Like for example, blue is very calming, red is very stimulating. So all these, each color has a different property. We use color exposure with the help of sunlight, or we solarize the water. We have separate glass bottles, colored glass bottles. We fill in water, we solarize it, and we give it to specific conditions in order to enhance the treatment process. So all these things we use. The other thing, I mean, for vacuum, we have fasting therapy, we have acupuncture, we have cupping. So all these therapies come under vacuum treatment, because we use the space between your muscle tendons and joints and all for acupuncture therapy. There'll be a vacuum, and only that will be an acupuncture point. For cupping also, we use vacuum to hold the cups. So all these things come under space. The last one, metal, we use magnets. We influence the patient's energy to improve the circulation, and then we improve the disease condition also. So all these treatments we have in our center also.
Got it. Doctor, I have this doubt because when you mention all of these therapies, like, is it these therapies you will be giving as a treatment based on the diagnosis? It's not necessary that the patient should be taking all five, or is it like all five is like better for holistic well-being? A, B.
No,
I
what
know.
happens?
I
Yeah, tell me,
Yeah,
tell me.
I'll just come to this. How expensive is it? Is it like,
Okay.
whatever therapy that I'm going to take, how expensive is it? And like, if you can tell me about both of these things, it'll be helpful.
Sure. So, on the treatment part, not everybody will require all the five treatments. What happens is, your body is made up of all the five Panchabutas only. Okay? When there is an imbalance, one will be, as I already said in pulse diagnosis, we used to find what is high and what is low, where the energy is getting lagged, and all we used to find. So, in order to replenish that energy, we will give you that treatment. For example, if a person comes with earth deficiency, we have to give treatments of that kind to boost their energy, and we'll take the energy from the places where it is high. So we'll take it accordingly. Not everybody needs all the five treatments. Mostly it will be based on the condition of the patient. We find the, I mean, if you have a very recent encounter of a condition, your treatment will be very different from a person who is having diabetes, hypertension, and some joint pains. They will have a much extensive treatment. And coming to the affordability, our treatments are very affordable in terms of when you see it in the long run. So for example, if I say
Okay.
you will have to go for a knee replacement surgery, it is going to cost you around 5 to 6 lakhs, and post which you will be asked to do physiotherapy, asked to do rehabilitation and
Yeah.
all. So when you start doing
True.
it, when you come to us, it will be like not even 1/10 of the cost that you have given there. You will have it cured here, and you need not have to take any
Got it.
medicines. Will not have any side effects. So in the longer run, your affordability is very much. I mean, the expenses of the treatments are very much low.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying that, doctor, because it's very important for anyone to make decision, and of course, like, health comes first. So I don't think people have to think too much about it. Second thing I wanted to ask is this: like, how frequently? Like, I know that it is totally dependent on that person's condition. Like when you say that this person needs this therapy for mud or earth or whatever, that the mud therapy or something, how many sessions should they have to like come? Is it like is there like specific sessions that they come, or that is completely based on their condition?
We usually ask the patients to come for a week or two continuously,
Okay.
because that is where their energies can be realigned and all the treatments can be given at a stretch, so that you don't go mix up with your other routines. So initially, if it is a very acute condition, you will become completely better in the 2 week session. But when it is a long term issue like diabetes, like PCOD, kind of things, we will have to wait for 3 months. Those 3 months you need not come visit the clinic or hospital daily. We'll give you a specific set of sessions like weekly, twice or thrice, and then we will space it out so to see how your body responds and what can be done
Response.
if we need to change any other treatment. All those things will happen during that time. So in 3 months of time, you will see your body completely back to normal.
Amazing, amazing. This is awesome, doctor. I am a person who is, around this marketing and business and things like that. So I wanted to basically like ask you. So the moment you completed your studies and you got into this naturopathy, you understood this and all of that. I mean, running a hospital is not an easy task, is definitely not so easy. Specifically, why, I'll tell you, because all of us are so used to this. You go to a doctor gives you pill gives you the fix, and then you function normally, and we are so used to that pattern, and we do not many do not understand the importance of naturopathy, the beauty that it is actually, like, it doesn't give you side effects and things like that. So usually what happens, especially in the principles of business or marketing, is that when people do not know what that is, the first thing that you need to do is like spread awareness, and then you build on top of it, and then you need to attract people who really understand this and who basically match this. And this, like, it takes a lot of time for the business to build that. It also involves credibility and trust because it is to do with the health and things like that. How is the journey? How long have you been running this hospital, and how is the journey so far for you, doctor? Like, being doctor is one side, and also making sure that you are taking care of the operations and business side of it.
Yes, absolutely. So what I mean, we have been in business for the last 4 years. So we started off as a very small clinic and with limited number of treatments and awareness part. Even now, people are not fully aware of what is going on. I mean, many people come to me and say, "We never know that this kind of a system existed or this kind of a treatment existed." So awareness part, we still have a very long way to go to bring complete realization on the system, on the treatment part, on the health part. But as of now, when people come here, they initially have that hesitation of, I've been to so many doctors. What different are you going to do, and how it is going to help me? But trust me, people after they are taking, I mean, we have a hard time convincing people, but once they are convinced, they do it for my sake. They say, okay, let me try. So when we give the treatment, they start seeing results in 2 to 3 days, and they start feeling happy again. Most of the people, they say, my body feels very light. That is because of the cleansing procedure that I've been through, and for the yoga part, for the acupuncture part, they start feeling their body normal again. That is the biggest awareness that one can create. So as of now, we have started marketing based on the testimonials, because when a person experiences it, they can tell it even more better rather than I'm
No,
me
I
telling.
completely agree, doctor. I think another thing also, like, I don't know if I can suggest, is that I'll tell you how I also, like, got exposed to this naturopathy. I did not know it's called that. I think I follow this actress Samantha.
Okay.
She puts this red light therapy, UV therapy, and she would also talk about aromatherapy. And she's also invested in a business around aromatherapy and things like that, right? But often what happens, there is one side that, okay, this celebrity is doing, I really want to try what it is. There is one set of people who would want to show interest in this. There's also a majority of portion who would say that if they are doing, it is going to be expensive, so I don't want to basically, like, oh, she's doing this, it's expensive, sort of a thing. But I really think, from a marketing standpoint, as a suggestion, I'm sharing. So basically, I've seen a lot of doctors. I'm seeing, like, doctors are doing so well. Like, I am basically informed because of certain doctors. Like, I'm sure you must also be following Dr. Pal, because right now I'm becoming so obsessed about how I should take care of gut, the
No.
order of food that I take, quantity and portion of fiber and protein I must take, I should thank him, because I did not know all of this until now. And Dr. Santosh Jacob and so many other doctors, Dr. Cuter around the uterus and your breast health and things like that. So I'm seeing a lot of doctors, and mainly because of their social media, B, their podcast and the guests that they are bringing, they're talking to, and the more important thing is that the issue they're discussing, like what you are doing in naturopathy is actually like is a vast spectrum, and you definitely have an amazing way to educate and document this. I would really suggest, I also see your Instagram page, like you share about how we often mistake our the teeth problem, the teeth, what are the things that we can do, how peppermint tea can be soothing to your teeth and things like that. So if we constantly like put something like this, it is definitely going to be like super helpful, more than just relying upon a celebrity or something, because you are the expert here, you are the person who knows something very well about it. Apart from testimonials, I think you should also like start talking about it more, because as I spoke to you, I learned so much as a person from here. I will. I'm actually doing it, and as I already said, I intend to spread awareness on the system as a whole and teach people of what is going on with their body and when you need to take care of it and what are the signs that you have to look out for. So all these things will be in the coming videos. I'm looking forward to it, because these videos are, I mean, like if it is very much related to our everyday thing, like if I can go to my kitchen and take it and then do it immediately, and it will take only 5 minutes for me to do. I mean, since you said it's all about the food and things we consume, I think it will be super helpful for me, because I have saved a lot of reels and I have been doing certain things. I have a folder on my laptop and my phone called Health. So I basically, whatever I see that can be done, I save that and then I try to follow it. Like the peppermint tea. In general, my entire family has a teeth related problem. I don't want to get. Have so far I've not gotten it. So peppermint tea, I think it's not just for tea, but I mean like not for the soothing thing for your teeth or something. But I think I also see in terms of my sleep quality and things like that, it helps me so much. So I've gotten peppermint tea after I watched your reel, and it is helping me so much. I'm glad that it is helping you. I'm going to ask you like one last question. Do you have time, doctor? Yeah. Sure. Okay. So, is there like any eligibility criteria to consult with you? Like, you should not, I won't basically like consult someone who is who has this particular disease or who is of this age. Something around that. Do you have any eligibility criteria to consult or something like that? No, we don't have any, that sort of eligibility criteria. We treat patients like children also, and we treat very old age people also, depending on their condition too. We treat autism, we treat cerebral palsy, we treat ADHD, and we treat all joint pains and all everything we do. But the only thing is, people have to be cooperative. That is the only criteria that we would require in our hospital. So, any people, you will listen to my words and follow my instructions correctly, and 100% sure that you will have your results on your. So that is the only criteria that we have here. And we treat all kind of diseases, like right from pain management to your diabetes reversal, PCOD reversal, and all your lifestyle diseases like hypertension, obesity. All these things we treat. We treat skin conditions, asthma, all conditions we treat. So there's no hard and fast rule that only these persons can come here. We treat everybody, but the only criteria is you have to be cooperative to what we say. Okay. In Chennai, where is your hospital present, doctor? We have three centers in Chennai as of now. One in Mogappere West we have. The other center is in Mandavelli. And the third center is exclusively for the members of Cosmopolitan Club. Inside the Cosmopolitan Club we have. Okay. I basically stay in OMR. Mugaper, and I don't know where he is, but okay, no, got it. I guess and for you, Mandavelli will be near. Mandavelli is nearer. Okay, okay, doctor. And how do we book an appointment if someone wants to book an appointment with you? What's like? Do we go to the like? Is there any call or WhatsApp? How does it happen? We give appointment on WhatsApp and call. We have number we will give you so that you can book your appointment through. Got it, doctor.
We are also
Cool.
available on
So
Just Dial. We are also available on Practo.
Practo. Okay. Last but not the least, I've been saying last for last 5 minutes, but yeah, I swear this is going to be the last one. What advice would you like to give parents who are aging? Because it's very, very hard. I'm sure a lot of people will agree. It's very hard to convince their 50, 60 years of practice, and they're not ready to accept that it's because of that practice they are, they've actually they are here at this point of time. And also for the people who are working in their 30s and for 30s to 40s, because that's the prime age for people to like easily uh, spot that they are actually going to get this disease or not because of their habits. So what advice would you like to give both of them?
One advice that I want to give them is start prioritizing your health over anything, over your career, over your children, over your parents, whomever it may be and whatever it may be. Start prioritizing your health, because your health is the only thing that will come with you along all through your years. So that is the prime time where you will have to take care of your nutrition, you have to take care of your exercise, you have to keep your body in optimal condition so that it helps you grow in your career. Without that, nothing can be done. So that is one particular thing I want to advise all those, even kids, even people in the age of group of 20 to 30s also, start prioritizing your health with good nutrition, proper exercise, and good amount of sleep.
Got it. I think for both of them, when you mentioned, like when I asked you about that diabetes, also when I asked you about the 30 to 40 question as well, it looks pretty much the same, except 30 and 40 years, it probably happens quickly. But for someone who is in the 60 and who has that for a long time, might take some time, but it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, the same.
Got it. Thank you so much, doctor. This entire session. I mean, like, if you leave me and tell that, hey, you can continuously talk to the doctor, I would ask you like tons of questions because there's so much that you are doing. And I think it has to be like spread across to the world, to people out here. Because, like you said, health is an asset, it's a non negotiable, most important asset that no matter what, it is more important. It comes, like you said, it is the health that carries you till the end. So I think it's most important for us to take care of it. And it means so much to me for taking your time to answering all my stupid questions, because it's, I think I know it's stupid, but it has to be asked. Otherwise, people don't understand a lot of things around it always remains.
So I had a very good time in conversing with you. Thank you so much for taking your time and asking these questions. Which, as you said, many people they hesitate, they are shy to ask. They feel, okay, what is this question and all. So answering that questions, I feel it takes a lot of. It gives a lot of awareness on what we are doing and how well you will have to take care of your own body. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor. Have an amazing day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much.